Hi friends, this is Laura with Laura B. Flosstube. Welcome or welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Flosstube 47. It is December 19th, 2023, and I am just so glad that you decided to join me to hear about my latest cross-stitching progress and to also hear about my 2024 plans. So I'm going to share all of that information with you, plus I'm going to give you a little quilty update, and we'll just have a great time. So let's just jump right in. The first thing I want to show you is my progress. I have been working on just the Durene Jones Christmas stitch along. It's a free stitch along that she was doing on her Facebook group. And I have all the patterns now. They're done with the stitch along. I started like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks later than they started. So I am not done. And I don't think it's going to be done in time for Christmas, but that's okay. It'll be done for next year. All right, so this is where I'm at with the Christmas stitch along. I have the border done and the first 3 of the panels done, and I'm working on the 4th. Isn't this like so cute? I am very happy with how this is turning out. I am using anchor floss, so it's all of the floss colors on the spools. And if you saw my video, I think 2 floss tubes ago, I pulled all the colors for the stitch. So you can look back and see just kind of how I pulled my colors. And I really just kind of went with the color chart that they released and then just randomly pulled the colors out of my stash. But this is where I'm at. And as you can tell, I'm working on the little reindeer down here, which is the 4th panel. And I just need to fill in the top with that light blue. All of the white stitching is done, which I think you can kind of see. All the white stitching is done for the little snowflakes and things like that in the sky, and I just need to fill in that blue sky. This is such a cute stitch, and I'm so glad that I decided to jump in and do this, even though it means that the prim and proper stitch has kind of been put to the side, but that's okay. I'll get back to it when this one is done. All right, so the next thing I want to share with you is, oh my gosh, one of my friends, Pam, hi, tells me that I am just completely obsessed with houses. And you can kind of tell behind me, I have Autumn Love, the house on that, and then the houses for the little house needleworks, the ABC sampler houses, and I have other houses around too. You may not be able to see, but this, I have my little quilter at work here, and I have all the little houses from Flamingo Toes. Well, their latest release is the Christmas house. And I saw it and I was just like, I have to have that. It's just a must. So I added the charm and I also added the needle minder to my collection of the Flamingo Toes houses. So these are so cute, you guys. If you haven't seen them, you should totally check them out. Several of the shops and Etsy, you can find them on there. And then she also has her own store. So if you just Google Flamingo Toes, you can get to her store and you can get the needle minders and the charms. And really that's where I got them because I checked a couple stores online and they kept like selling out and selling out before I got my order in. So I just decided I'll just order it directly from her. And it came like really quickly. I think I ordered it on like a Wednesday and it was here in my mailbox on Saturday. So super fast shipping and it's basically the same price. I mean, I think it was a couple dollars extra. But you know, I'm impatient, so I'm very happy to have it. So here is the Christmas house. Super cute. All right, so that is the cross-stitching progress that I've made since last time. Not very much, but super happy with my progress on that because I've also been working on other things. But this morning I decided, you know what, I should pull out some patterns and start thinking about my 2024 plans. So that's what I've done. So we're going to go through a whole bunch of 2024 plans. There is no way I'm going to get all of these stitched, like no way. But this is kind of the list of things. First, I want to try to get this one done because I love snowmen so much. So I have this little pattern. It's by Homespun Collections. I have not stitched any of their things before. It kind of reminds me of Prairie Schooler Santas a little bit, but it's just a snowman. And I don't know if there's other ones in this collection. If there are, let me know in the comments below. This one, I don't know. I don't even know how old this is. I got this secondhand from a like a little garage sale type thing. So, but this is the snowman. Isn't he so cute? And I may need to change, I don't know. I might change the vest color. I might just leave it the way it is. This is the first one I'd like to try to get to in 2024, just because I love snowmen and I think that would be a perfect way to start my year. All right. So I have a few new designers that new to me designers. So Homespun Collections is definitely new to me. And then I have not done any of the Teresa Kogut collections. So I would like to try to do this one, which is the Cross Stitch Snowman. And what does it say? It says, a glad heart lights up the face. So super cute. They're just like little ice skating snowmen. Like I said, I love snowmen. So I have 2 of those on the list for sure. I might have more than that. I think just 2 though. So this one, and this is also an older pattern. Let's see if it says, does not tell me what year. Oh, well, it says in 2004. I don't know. I don't know when this one was released, but I am going to try to stitch it as well. Sorry, I have some hairs on my shirt. It's kind of weird. All right, so this is not a new to me designer, but I have only done one of her designs. If you remember the jar apple sampler that I did, you may remember that I had a design by Pedal Pusher, which is Barbie Tingley. And so I have a few of her other patterns that I would like to try to get to in 2024. The first one being Autumn Glory. Love, love, love this. It's so cute. So cute. And the stitch count on this is 91 by 66. So 6.5 by 5 3/4 tall on 28 count fabric, which would be a 14 count. So I think that's totally doable. Really cute design. And then to go with that, I also have the winter design from that series, which is the Winter Wonderland. And again, that one is also 6.5 by 5 3/4. And that's on a 28 count. And this is Pedal Pusher. In case you're looking for her, you can totally find her on Etsy. She has her own Etsy shop. And then the last one from her is called I Must Have Flowers. This is so cute. And you might be able to see, all 3 of those had houses in them. It's kind of funny. But I got these in St. Charles about a year and a half ago at the Needlework Galleria. Fell in love with the designs, got to meet her, decided that I wanted these patterns and I wanted to make them, and they've just been in the stack. So I am going to try to make them a priority in 2024 just to get those 3 done. All right, the other, I have not done any of her patterns. Follow her on YouTube, went to her shop in Colorado. Love, love, love all of her things. Love her YouTube channel, but I have not stitched any of her stuff. So the next one is Sherry Berger, which is a Colorado cross stitcher. And I have 3 of her patterns that I would like to try to do. Maybe not all of the pattern, but part of it at least. This first one is the Stitcher Signpost. And there's 2 designs in here. I think I'm going to do this big design for sure. I may do the small one too. We'll just see how it goes. But this is the first one from the Colorado cross stitcher that I'm going to try to get to. The next one is called, oh, imagine this, Snowman Collector. And this is such a cute design. I love it so much. The stitch count on this is 114 by 134. She stitched it on a 36 count. Now, I am probably not going to stitch it on 36 count. I'm probably going to stitch it on 28. So it will be a little bigger, but, you know, it'll be fine. 134, though, that'd be almost 10 inches. So we'll see. We'll do the math on that and see what we decide. And we may, you know, I might just decide not to stitch all the little snowmen or something just to make it a little smaller. But I do want to try to get to this one in 2024 as well. And then going with the Snowman Collector is the Santa Collector from her as well. And again, this is 114 by 134. She stitched it on 32 count. I will probably be stitching it on 28, so it'll be a little bigger. But it is super cute as well. Love both of these designs. I just really want to get to those in 2024. Love the Santas. All right, so I'm continuing my Prairie Schooler Santas, and I do want to do a few more of the annual Santas next year. But in addition to this, I got this from an acquaintance on Facebook. She had this up for grabs, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to have this. This is the Prairie Schooler book number 20, I believe. Yes. And it just has 8 of the Santas. I don't know, and actually now that I'm looking at them, this is kind of funny because I think that some of those are the annual Santas. So I'm not really sure if I'll do this or not. Maybe I'll just double check and see if I have stitched these already. That's kind of funny. I didn't even realize that. Let's see if it tells me what years they are. I don't know. I mean, there's a couple of them on here that look very familiar to me. And there's a couple of them that don't look familiar. So I don't know. But like this one here, this definitely, I feel like I've stitched that one. So I don't know. We'll cross-reference those and decide if which of those I can still stitch. All right, so next up is like my absolute favorite designer. So I have a lot of her patterns here. But yeah, I know I can't get all of these done, but we're gonna do our best. And I think, you know, these are not in any particular order. I don't know which ones I'm gonna do and which ones I'm not. I don't know which order I'm gonna go, but Lori Holt, surprise, surprise. I have like, I don't know, 6 of her patterns here that I have not stitched and I want to stitch. So the first one up is So Happy. And I love this. Now, of course, if I do this, I'm gonna change the machine to a teal to match my featherweight. And I may change the border a little bit too, not sure. This is a stitch count of 185 by 71. So on a 14 count, it's 13, basically 13 by 5. This will be a pretty large stitch actually. But I think that it shouldn't take too long. The letters should go fairly quickly. There's a lot of white space in this. So I think that it should go fairly quickly. So I'd really like to get So Happy completed in 2024. Another one is the You Are the Boss stitch. And I'm actually going to use that saying in a mini quilt that I'm making for the Guild Quilt Show in 2024. So I may try to incorporate a couple of those stars or something into that design as well. Not positive, but I would like to get this one done. And again, this one is basically 10 by 6 on 14 count. All right, so I bought this because I wanted to support the cause, but I really like the design too. It's super cute. I think this would be so cute for summer. I don't know if I'll stitch all of them, but I think that, you know, maybe a collection of 4 or even just 2 or maybe even just 1. I'm not sure. So I would like to do this, or at least part of it, in 2024 as well. And this is the support group cross stitch by Fat Quarter Shop, and it's Lori Holt is the designer. It was a fundraiser for breast cancer awareness. All right. Okay, so this one, I'm not sure if I have the quilt pattern that goes with this, but I love the cross stitch a lot and I would like to make it. So Quilter's Cottage is on my list as well. It's actually in the stack and it has been for a while, so I really would like to get to this one and get that stitched up. The stitch count on this, if we're doing a 14 count, is like 10 by 14, so that's pretty big. Yeah. All of these are kind of big, but I would like to get them done. Okay, so this one, I am probably going to do something more similar to this down here. The Prim Village. I got this pattern, I feel like I got this pattern like free or on sale as an incentive with something else. But I would love to do that, just one little house with the little quilt blocks underneath it. I'm probably not going to do the entire stitch because that just gets very monotonous for me. And I know how I am and I will get bored. If you remember the journey of the flags, you will remember that I do not like stitching the same thing over and over and over and over. So this I feel like would get very monotonous. However, this little one down here with just the one house and the little quilt blocks would be super cute to do. So I may just do that one small. And then last one for Lori Holt is the So She Did. And this is also a sewing machine. I like this design. It's going to be a lot of stitching just to get that machine done, but it's so cute and I think it'd be really cute in my sewing room. So this was kind of on the list for 2024. It's definitely not at the top, but I think that it yeah, I think that I would like to do it. And actually, now that I'm looking at this pattern, you know, I like parts of it more than others. So I may see if I can not even do the machine, but do the words and the scissors and the little pin cushion and kind of put that into a tighter grouping and decide if I can make that into a smaller design, which now that I'm thinking about it, may be what I do. We'll see. All right, so, okay, I have 3 more to go. I know, I'm telling you, there's no way I'm gonna get all of this done in 2024, but they're on the list, right? They're on the list. So the last one, and I've mentioned this a few other times, I still want to make it and I still want to work on it quickly or soon, but it's the one from Bonnie and Camille, and it is the Quilt Bee cross stitch that goes with their Quilt Bee book, which is a sampler quilt that you can make. And I haven't made the quilt either. So I feel like in 2024, I may put both of those items on my goal list to try to get that, just because, you know, I bought the book, so I need to be, you know, using it. So anyway, here's the cross stitch. I think it finishes, I think it's a pretty big cross stitch actually. Let's see. It's, let me see if I can find the dimensions on it. On 14 count, it is 11 by 13 and a half. So it's 153 by 190. There is some white space in this, but not a ton. So it is definitely a pretty big stitch, but I love it so much. And I think it would be so fun to have the quilt and the cross stitch that match one another. I've done that with a few of Lori Holt's patterns, Autumn Love and Flea Market Flowers and Prim, I believe. All have like matching cross stitch and quilts, and I love them all. So I think that I would love to do the cross stitch and quilt for Bonnie and Camille's Quilting Bee. All right, last designer, last 2 patterns. I made one of her designs in 2023. Absolutely, actually 2 of her designs in 2023. Absolutely love both of them, so I want to put those on my list again for 2024. Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. So the first one is the Stitcher's Retreat House. And this one is a stitch count of 133 by 136, so it's basically 7.5 inch square. Super cute design. This released at Needlework Market, I believe, in the spring. I love it so much. It's so cute. So I want to try to get this one done. And again, that's Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, and it's the Stitcher's Retreat House. I believe you can get it. I know there for a little while they kind of made it exclusive or whatever, but I feel like it's just out there to grab now. The other one, here we go. The other one that's on the list is Houses on Pumpkin Lane. Oh my gosh, I loved Houses on Peppermint Lane so much. It got a little tiring there at the end just because it's such a big stitch and such a big commitment if you do them as one piece. And I probably will be doing Pumpkin Lane as one piece as well. Now she started a new series, Wisteria Lane. Oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. So I can't wait for all of those to be out as well. But in the meantime, I'm going to be doing Pumpkin Lane. And she does have a picture of the one piece stitch down here on the back of the pattern. So super cute, and I am excited to get this started. In fact, I think this is going to be my first start of the new year. I'm going to get the fabric and the colors pulled and then start stitching on it. All right, so that, can you believe, that is my 2024 plans. I do have a planner. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I bought a planner and I kept looking at it and I kept struggling on how I was going to use it. And so I just started kind of looking around again and I found a different one. And this one is by Graphique. I got it on Amazon, and it has Snoopy on the front of it. Cute, right? And so I have not done much with my planner yet, but that's on the agenda for this week. And one of the things is to add in my cross stitch and quilting goals. And so just so you know, I mean, this doesn't really give me a spot to put those, but what I'm gonna do in the back of this is, they call it the extras page. And I did kind of start a little bit. I just kind of crossed out, it's like budget goals, and I'm like, oh, who wants a budget? That's no good. So I just changed that to quilt goals, and then the other side is my cross stitch goals, and I'm just going to put a list of my goals. And then in addition to that, the next page, again, it's budget and tracking. So I think on these two pages instead, I'm going to also like keep a list of the days I started and finished different projects. So if they were something that they weren't part of my goals, then I will add them in there just so I can get a better idea of when I've started and finished things. Because like this year, I'm like, I don't even know what all I've stitched this year, which is kind of crazy. Because I stopped doing the timer. I was using a toggle tracking timer. And it's TOGGL, in case you're looking for a timer to, if you are into that, if you like tracking how much time you're spending on things. It's really easy. It's a download for Android or iPhone, and then there's also a desktop version of that. So if you're looking for a timer, it's a really good one, and I used it in 2021 and 2022. I didn't use it this year, so, and I missed that, because now I'm just like, well, I don't know what I stitched or how much time I spent stitching. I don't know any of that. So I think that I'm going to try to get back to using that in addition to keeping a list. So everyone else is like, this is what I've done in 2023. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I finished. I don't know anything. I mean, I could go back through like Instagram and my Flosstubes and kind of get a list. But like for you to, you know, for me to say, I started on this day and I finished it on this day, I have no idea. And so I'd kind of like to have a little better feel for that in 2024 again. And so I'm probably going to start using either the toggle tracker or something that I can kind of keep track of when I'm working on things. But, all right, so planner, Snoopy, right? And it comes with some cute stickers, which I think are adorable. And then it has a full spread of for the calendar, and then it has breakdowns for the calendar for the week. So, and it also, this is what sold it for me. It has, for each week, it has top things to do, what's next up, notes, goals, things like that. And that's what I was really looking for that I couldn't find and I didn't have with the first planner that I purchased. So don't worry, that planner, I gifted it. Ha! I needed a gift for a little holiday party that I was going to, and I was like, well, that's a great idea. I'll just gift my 2024 planner that I'm not using because I knew that this one was going to be here for me. So that is where I'm going to try to keep my 2024 plans and goals and tracking of all the things I do, not just craft related, but family and school and work and all of that. So this will be very helpful, and it's Snoopy, so how could I like not love it already? All right, so last thing I'm going to share, and you're going to get a sneak peek if you see this before December 21st, you will get a sneak peek into the next 2 blocks that I've done for the Bloom Quilt Stitch Along, or Sew Along rather. So I'm going to flip you around so you can see where I'm at with the Bloom Quilt. Okay, so if you follow my channel, you probably know that I am currently doing the Bloom Quilt Sew Along. It's a design by Lori Holt. It's using her Sew Simple Shapes set A. So it's a really kind of a throwback. I believe it was 2016 when she first did this quilt. And I had not made it, so I decided that it was definitely something I wanted to do. It's so cute and cheery. So I have 14 of the blocks done. There are 20 blocks total. And then there's also an outer border that goes on all the way around on the outside of the quilt. So this is where I'm at. I have the first 14 blocks, as I said. I just finished filming for blocks 13 and 14 late last week, and that video is posting on Thursday, December 21st around 8 a.m. I'm probably going to be filming for block 15 and 16 either today or tomorrow, so I can kind of get ahead of the game a little bit. And so we are pretty close to being done with our Bloom quilt. This is a great quilt if you are new to the interfacing applique method. The shapes are a little bigger than some of her latest designs, and there's less shapes per block than some of her latest designs. So it's definitely a simpler quilt to start with. If you have not done an applique quilt before using the interfacing method or any applique quilt, this would be a good one to start with, just because, like I said, it's a little simpler of a design, less pieces, and less involved. So, and obviously, if you didn't want to make all 20 blocks, you wouldn't have to. You could make just one and make a pillow, or you could make 4 and make a wall hanging, or however you want to do it. I think 9 would be a really nice throw size. You could make, all 20 blocks and have 2 throws and 2 pillows or something. So, it's really versatile, and it's a great way to use up scraps. So I have used basically all scraps in this quilt. The only thing that I have cut yardage out of is the background fabrics, and even those were leftovers from other quilts. I probably will need some yardage for the outer border, but other than that, I love being able to just use up some scraps. So that's where I'm at, the first 14 blocks of the Bloom quilt. I had this Orphan block that came with a tote of fabric from my brother, and it was this cute little puppy. And I was like, what am I going to do with that? Well, this tote of scraps also had 10 or 12 different colors in it. So what I did was, a friend and I, thank you, Carol, so much. A friend and I went through the tote and we separated all the scraps out by color and we put them into baggies. And then I cut all of the scraps into 5-inch and 2.5-inch squares. So now I have 10 or 12 bags of scraps. So I had this Orphan block and I was like, well, what am I going to do with this? And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to grab some of the blue and some of the gray and throw it in this quilt top real quickly. And this is going to be a donation quilt for Angel Wings, which is a clothing closet for foster children. And they also do an Easter event each year where they give baskets of goodies to kids. And they have a quilt in each basket. So this is one of the quilts I'm going to donate for that cause. All right. I am so excited because next week is between Christmas and New Year's. The place where I work will, they give us winter break. So I have next week off, and Tuesday, I plan on going down to my brother's to do some quilting. I have the hometown quilt that I made, which was a Lori Holt design. And I also have the Irish chain king size quilt for my in-laws that is completed, that I need to get that one quilted, and the puppy dog quilt. So I have those 3. I may have one more quilt in there too. I don't remember. I need to look through the stack and see where I'm at with that. But I have some quilts to quilt next week, and I'm planning on going down to my brother's on Tuesday, which is the 26th. To quilt those. So hopefully by the next Flosstube, which will be in 2024, I will have some quilts to show you as well. So that's all I have for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all the liking and sharing and subscribing if you haven't. So please make sure you stay tuned for more of the Bloom Quilt Sew Along. That Sew Along will be wrapping up towards the end of January, right before Mercantile starts. So if you're stitching along with me on that, please, tag me on Instagram, share it out, and let me know that you're sewing along. I would love to see your blocks. Until next time, I hope you guys have a very fun and healthy and safe holiday season. Christmas and New Year's is coming. We have lots of fun plans. I hope you do as well. And until next time, happy stitching.